Hi everyone, welcome to Amaranth. These are general messages for the collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter placements. Let's get into it. So the first card you have, Leo, is number 30. It says Sky Messenger, and further it says freedom. Below that it says let go of restrictions and set yourself free. The mantra here is I embody freedom by living my truth and inspiring others. Freedom is a soul contract with the divine, not rebellion without purpose. Right, because what is freedom? Freedom is just, when we align ourselves with our heart's voice, our soul's calling, right? And we're genuine about it. We're not rebellious. We want to express ourselves authentically. That's what freedom is. So it's got nothing to do with being impulsive or being reckless, right, with our energy or our thoughts. Because I feel at this point in time, Leos, you want to live your truth. And I do feel that the energies are nudging you to do so. I feel that at this point in time, you are striving for freedom. You're striving for liberation in some way, in some situation. I also feel that you don't want to feel restricted or limited in any ways, especially if it's regarding your career perspective or some business that you want to start. Maybe that you have some limitations. Maybe it's external limitation, or maybe it's your own limitation. I feel that you're breaking free from that. Some of you actually might be, messengers. This is a very eagle energy where eagles, they fly high. They have the higher perspective. They're messengers, divine messengers. So, you might be getting some nudges to step into leadership roles or, to step into roles that will uplift humanity, uplift society. Maybe you're teaching, maybe you're a teacher, you want to teach the next generation, or maybe you are, a performer, a performing arts person, or a creative arts person, and you want to create something which will uplift humanity. There's a lot of arts and music that uplift us. So I feel that you are creating something and you want to present it to the world. And if you do so, that actually will turn out really well. That will be a gift to the world. So some of you, Leos, might be shifting up your habits, the way you do things. I feel that you do have big ideas. It's just that you need to be more practical in terms of your approach. Have that big picture, that big view, that big vision, that upper vision, that higher vision as to how to execute it, as to how to implement it, being very practical. Because ground realities are very different from, theoretical plans. So I do feel that you are refining something in order to create something. I also feel that, this is a very karmic time. You just had a full moon 2 days back. So I feel that this is like the redefining contracts. So maybe something that maybe you were with the company that, that you had signed contracts with, that you needed to be with them for a certain amount of time. Now I feel that some of you might be, releasing those contracts because you're getting new opportunities for growth. So there is a lot of expansion energy. If you see, it's like a very divinely sent or blessed opportunity at this point in time for growth of expansion. Some of you might be growing online, but this is, just general expansion, online, offline. But for a majority of you, I feel this is expansion through using your voice. You might be singers, you might be mentors, you might be social media people, something about messenger-like qualities, that conveys the message. So I do feel you're using your voice strongly to inspire people. And that's why it's very important to not be reckless with your words and actions, because now you're being watched, eyes on you. Some of you are actually breaking free from regular jobs because you want to try something on the side, or you have an idea that you probably were working on the side. Now you want to go full-time onto it, some entrepreneurial venture that you were exploring for some time now, that you have the resources aligned, you want to take the plunge. So for some of you, that could be it, but a handful of you might also be traveling, travelers and bloggers. Some of you could be writing blogs. Some of you could be creating memes. It's a very strong energy of expressing yourself through memes. Or, nowadays we have a lot of channels, even online for communication. You might be sending a broadcast message, in order to reach a louder, in order to reach a broader audience. But the thing about this energy is that it takes some planning. So don't jump into anything unless you have a plan in place, unless you've thought through things, because opportunities at this point in time might appear like, what is that saying? Everything that glitters is not gold. So you might see some opportunities that appear glittery to you or shiny to you. But not everything will be fruitful or successful. So before you commit to anyone or anything or any opportunity, learn about the terms and condition and what it entails for you, the amount of work you need to put in, the amount of investment you need to put in, and the returns that you would be getting. So if possible, have that documented as well. As I was reading the subject of psychology, is very interesting actually. It says that when we are endowed, and the journal, when we take to journaling and we take to activities that express ourselves, like we create a blog or we create a artwork or some kind of what you call clay models and structures or architecture, something that we do, whether it's gardening or cooking, whatever it is. It actually reduces our stress by 50%. So if you are able to express yourself and channel that energy, you will feel, lighter. So that's what I feel, that, with this energy flying high, there is coming out of any illusions, because when you're at a height, we see the true picture. And that is going to allow you to see things for what they are, and you will no longer be disillusioned by things. Constantly I feel this energy is always about Elon Musk for me. I feel truly, even though there is some, polarizing thing about, his comments and his opinions and things like that, that I truly see him as a sky messenger, because he keeps pushing the boundaries, with his company, SpaceX. We all know that about. That's actually, he's looking beyond Earth. So that's kind of a cosmic freedom to me. I mean, that's how I see it. Also, I feel that some of you could be into public speaking. Some of you might be on radio or on TV, on broadcasting channels is coming through really, really strong. Or some of you might be publishers, writing books, magazines, blogs, or, any kind of books, maybe culinary books or puzzle books or something like that. This is also a travel card where you will, travel gives us a lot of freedom, because we explore new cultures, we explore new teachings and new ways of doing things, even spiritual. Spiritually, we grow when we travel from place to place. So some of you could be, freeing yourself from being stuck in one city, and just by traveling. And for others of you, some of you actually could be even, I would say, like maybe even in your social circles, right? You might be seeing like which your social circle feels restrictive, and you might be kind of feeling a little outgrown. You might have outgrown some people situations, and you might be thinking of, exploring other social circles and things like that. And some of you are actually using your voice for justice and freedom. That energy is also very strong. So some of you could be advocates, advocating for human rights and things like that. If you haven't seen Dead Poets Society, it's very interesting movie to see that. Robin Williams is there, and he's that teacher. And this image absolutely reminds me of that teacher. He's the sky messenger for his students. He constantly inspires them to, free their mindset, have that freedom of thinking, to be able to think freely, to be able to speak freely. You know, he's a very inspirational figure. See that movie anyways. It's a great movie, Dead Poet Society. So anyways, so I do feel that this is a time for you to speak truth. Some of you might be speaking the truth to the higher ups is also what I'm picking up from this energy. You might be, you know, sometimes like the unions, you know, they kind of feel that there's no one hearing them or something like that, you know, or no, forget the unions. I would say that, you know, in areas where you feel you're not being heard, or, you know, there are a lot of communities or people that come together because they want to, you know, they want to reach out, they want to speak their truth to the higher ups, but they don't have the courage to do so. So I feel, Leo, you being the fixed fire sign, you know, you have a lot of courage, you stand for courage. So you might be even advocating for the for those groups, or you might be actually leading some kind of movement as well. You know, especially for I'm getting educational movements, or maybe some kind of, I would say, like, you know, work over work time, those kind of movements. You might be leading those movements as well. Or even for women, I feel some of you might be, you know, females out there, are women out there that are standing up for women's rights movement. I've heard about that going on for a long time now. So some of you could be advocating for that as well. You know, women's rights, to break free from long-standing restrictions. Some of you could be a part of that as well. The next card you have, Leo, is house number 7, which is the house of Libra. So 7th house energies are playing out for you, and you are fixed fire, the 5th house energy, right? Below it says profound relationships, intimacy, and romantic partnerships. So for those of you, I feel that, okay, let me first read the whole thing. It says, I honor the sacred mirror of partnership. It expands my soul. And here we're talking of all kinds of partnerships, whether it's in your personal life, romantic partnerships, or in your career. You know, this is a very karmic time, like I said, because we just had a full moon. And this is a time to, you know, this is a time where karmic events are expected to scale up, to increase, in the sense that the people that we meet, you know, it could be, and for the most part, the people that we do meet are here for a reason or for a season. You know, some of them are supported, some of them just teach us more about ourselves and life. So I do feel that we're, you know, whoever you are meeting, whoever you're partnering up with, your family, your extended family, your neighborhood community, whatever that is, it's an opportunity for you to learn and grow. So you're in an expansive energy right now, Leos. So, and most of the time, the people that we meet, you know, I've heard this, that, you know, and I also believe in that, that relationships are any kind of relationship, whether it's with our teachers, mentors, students, teams, office, boss, whoever that is, you know, it mirrors us in some way. Not one-to-one, but in some way they mirror us. And it, you know, it tells us something. We discover something about ourselves. We grow, we learn. So I feel that you might be getting into some contracts, whether it's personal life or your professional life. Some kind of partnership. This could be partnerships with companies. You know, it's like vendor partnership, trade partnerships, alliances in business, or things like that. But even in the community, I feel that these could be partnerships for group events. This could be partnership for you know, what do you call, for concerts, for creative events, for creative ventures, anything, any collaboration, you know. And I feel that some of you might actually meet people or mentors. You could work together. It could lead to positive growth even in your career, or, you know, somebody could recommend you this, that, and the third, you know, whether you're a private vendor or something, like, you know, when we recommend people, like, this is a person good for the job. So that might be happening for some of you. Otherwise, you know, you might be meeting people that kind of become your mentor, you know. Life is our greatest teacher. People are our greatest teachers, you know. It could be big and small, whoever that is. They teach us something. Somebody will teach you how to be patient. Somebody will teach you how to create something. Somebody you meet will teach you how to serve something or cook something, you know. That's how we grow. That's how we learn. We implement those lessons and we grow. So, and I, you know, and I really admire this these are two birds out here, and there's a similar image in that movie, The Notebook. The stills actually in the image, if you see, there are two birds looking at each other, and it feels like a mirror image because there's two carrots in between, and that actually appears like a mirror to me. And if you see the movie Notebook, there's Ryan Gosling in that and Rachel McAdams, and they, are a perfect embodiment of this energy, soul level partnerships. That's so deep, that's so profound, whether it's your business alliance, whether it's your collaboration, whether it's your coach. Some of you could be coaching or you could be attending some kind of spiritual practice, together as a community. Some of you could be partnering up. Maybe you're getting engaged, maybe you're getting married. So congratulations to those of you who are in that energy. Now, I also feel this could be your company coming together with several other companies, to create something larger. Like you have parts, some company selling you parts, some company giving you the strategy and something like that. So you could be partnering in that way as well. Now, partnerships come with their own demands. And I feel that with this bird energy, there's an ear over here. So I feel that actively listening is going to be very important for you. Yeah, I do feel active listening because that might help you resolve a lot of problems. That might help you resolve a lot of conflicts if you're actively listening. Again, Leos, for you, you're the fifth house, you're all about creativity, performances, and things like that. So some of you might actually be performing on stage, all eyes on you, but I do feel that this is in partnership. So if all eyes are on you, if the spotlight is on you, make sure to share it with your other ally, the other person, your partner, whether it's your own person partnership or, on stage, if you're with business allies, make sure that you share the spotlight. I do see the spotlight is on you. And then, you need to share the spotlight with people who have helped you to get to that space. Now, for those of you, for any kind of partnership, if you feel that, it's not working out, then even if it looks good on paper, there's no need to settle down. Because, we can only compromise to a certain extent, compromise where it should not become a weakness or a weak spot in our journey. Compromising is a strength, should be used as a strength, not as a weak point for us. So I do feel that some of you could be also going, you might be renewing vows, you might be attending some counseling that will help you better your bonds or understand each other better and, enhance your partnership, whether it's business or whether it's personal. So I do feel collaboration, therapy sessions coming together, resolving problems, being honest, when you communicate, and equality, like share the stage. If this person's doing X, you can do Y. Equality at all levels, fairness at all equals, because we have the 7th house energy out here to creating harmony through your talks and actions. The Venusian energy also brings in a lot of beauty, whether it's in people, the kind of people that we connect with that are good at soul level, or the place that you want to live. It could be that you're choosing aesthetically good places because Venusian energy is playing out. Now, some of you can also be, refining your relationships, the way you do relationships. Maybe you're caring for them, or maybe you're, doing some practical things. It's like acts of service, they call it. So you might be in service, whether as part of a community or in your relationships. You might be helping people, at practical level, getting things done, or just showing how much you care for them. The next card you have, Leo, is the 7 of Swords, and it further says, I move with wisdom and discernment. My strategy is sacred. Right, and if you see here, there is a symbol for thought, the god of wisdom. Now, with thought, always acted behind the scenes in order to rectify situations, in order to clear the chaos away, to create harmony. So it's about acting without people seeing. It's acting behind the scenes, those invisible acts that we do, like to resolve situations. Those energies are always come through very strongly. They have a huge impact on people, especially those that are actions that are done with high integrity but are not visible. So some of you could be into that energy as well. And a lot of people do act, they don't reveal as much. I feel that this is a time where you're being very discerning about what you reveal and what you don't, and nothing wrong with that. I mean, even the big tech companies, Apple, Apple, even for that matter, they don't reveal what they're going to reveal unless they actually show the promos of it, right? So that's the Seven of Swords energy. Some of you could be into that as well. Some of you could be into the military is what I'm picking up. Even recently, I was reading a few months back about SpaceX, how they launched their covert military satellite, for information gathering and things like that. They don't announce, they don't give out the details for all of that, but whatever they're working on is highly impactful, right? It's for the betterment of the community. Similarly, I see a lot of coins out here, and that reminds me of cryptocurrency. Some of you might actually be dealing or studying something about cryptocurrency. There's also a niche tech that I'm picking up from this. A very niche tech. If you see the symbol out here, I don't know how to explain this. You'll just have to see it for yourself. It's, I'm getting a niche tech with this. It's like the law enforcement uses it. So some of you might be into that. And in general, it's always good, to keep things private, to keep things low-key until they're accomplished, even the resources, the projects, and our backup plans. Some of you might be creating backup plans or backup plans, because it's just like how it works most impactful. The projects are most impactful, and they bring in more rewards. This also reminds me, if you see down there, it is, the two sphinxes out there, different shades. But this image reminds me of the Ocean 11 movie, George Clooney in that, who plays the role of Danny Ocean. That's that energy out here. He works behind the scenes, and that's the Seven of Swords energy that's coming up for you. Some of you could be doing things that nobody knows about, So you don't want to create the hype, but you want to show it, Some of you might be transforming in ways, but, it's suddenly one day you'll show up, like maybe you're coloring your hair, or maybe you were working on some fashion line, and suddenly you show people like, this is what I've created, or you open up a fashion business, but you're already studying and doing and collecting resources and gathering and collaborating with people behind the scenes. And suddenly one day you open it up to people. So, and I feel that there is a good amount of wisdom in doing that as well. When rituals and things and sacred acts, especially when we're working, they're done privately. It's better that they're done in private, and before announcing it, unless they become grounded, unless those ideas and thoughts become grounded and reality, it's better not to share, right? Because things could leak, the energy could leak. Now, I'm also getting, for some of you, this could be, the only caveat with this energy is if you're too over secretive, then, people might you might not people, I would say when you're too secretive and you want to work all by yourself, we tend to isolate ourselves from people. So just be mindful that you don't get into an isolation mode, because this energy over here, Seven of Swords, even though in the traditional tarot is read as like kind of a manipulative or deceptive energy, but this energy over here, this picture, this deck is absolutely not about that. Even though it's always good to be discerning about the people that we collaborate with, that they're not draining us or, stealing any kind of ideas or resources from us. But this energy over here is more about being discerning, working in private. Some of you could be, philanthropists, and we do a lot of charity, but we don't announce it, and that has a huge impact. So it's that kind of an energy. Some of you might be saving up money, but nobody knows, you might have a secret pot that you're collecting money into. It's that kind of an energy, but later on, those resources will help you out. Some of you could be actually getting promoted, but nobody knows about it. Only you know about it. Some of you might be changing up careers, but nobody knows about it. Only you know about it. Or some of you might be launching new ideas. Nobody knows about it. Only you know about it. So oversharing is not always recommended, especially until you already have grounded your ideas, like I already mentioned. And these kind of boundaries, like healthy boundaries where, you don't need to speak everything out, you don't need to say everything out loud. Even the truths for that matter, not every truth needs to be spoken out loud until you need to, If you need to reveal it, sure. But then you should also know when and how to reveal it, right? So a little bit of strategy and thinking might be required for you right now. in terms of your ideas, maybe somebody will take away your ideas, run with it, or, just drain your time and energy, and you won't be able to work on that idea. So you need to be very smart with your time, work smart, and of course, work hard, because nothing happens without working hard, but you need to work smart at this point in time. And I also feel that whatever you're doing on the sidelines or, not announcing it, make sure that you're doing it with high integrity levels, right? We need to balance it with integrity. We need to align it with higher principles, with the divine order, with higher purpose. So your choices, your words have to be very careful at this point in time. You need to have deep clarity and deep intellect as to when to say things and how to say it and how to put things together for yourself. So a lot of thinking and mental faculties you will be engaging in the next few days, strategizing, planning, being wise about things, being discreet about things, but all in secret order, all with high integrity, right? So that's the real wisdom, when we are able to do things in stealth mode and with high integrity to yield higher results. That's the true Leo spirit. And the last card for today, Leo, you will have is the Star Mother. And it further says, how can you mother yourself? Further, it says, you are more helped than you can possibly imagine. Loved and cherished so dearly that if you knew, you would not spend a single second of your life in separation, worry, or fear. Let the Divine Mother carry your burdens. Lay all your worries, regrets, shame, and guilt on her altar. Your capacity to love and hold others is limited to your capacity to love and hold yourself. Treat yourself like the beautiful spirit that you truly are. Remind yourself that you are doing your best and try not to carry it all on your own. You have got this, and the Mother Divine has got you. So, Leos, it's further over here. It says, I give myself the love I've always given to others. In nurturing myself, I expand my light. And that's what this is all about. I feel it's not just Leos. I feel it should be for each one of us. This is about caring for ourselves. It's about shining our light first. When we, it's about unconditional love for ourselves as well. This is the Divine Mother speaking to you. This is Isis. The energy of the Isis is coming through. This is the Divine Mother Shakti. Even Hathor, all the Divine Mother energies out here looking after you. And so should you be taking care of yourself in the same way, just like a mother would of her child. So I feel that some of you could be participating in some retreats. There's a lot of yoga retreats and tourism that's happening. That's healing, that, nurtures our body through those ancient traditions. I feel some of you could be part of that, pioneering, or somebody, or you could be creating, those or facilitating those kind of retreats, or be a part of it yourself. Now, some of you, this could also be related to your own help, like maternal help, especially if you're on your family way, or if you birthed a child, then it is also to look after yourself. I was reading about Iceland, how Iceland has, they've pioneered those 4-day work weeks, right? Because they want to maintain balance and allow people to care for themselves. So this is a part of government initiatives to help people look after themselves. So I do feel that some of you might be shifting jobs that have strained and drained you, and you might be, shifting onto something which is more part-time or less heavy on your physical body because of the burnout issues. Some of you can actually heal that through, daily rituals like having teas and meditation, or just walking in the nature, just to heal yourself on a regular basis. And I always think of, whenever the healing energy comes, I think of Eat, Pray, Love, Julia Roberts, how she travels far and wide to just rediscover herself, how she learns how to nurture her own soul. That's the energy which is coming through this. So some of you actually could be taking to some healing practices, like sound baths is getting really popular, Reiki, to, better your aura. I see it like a mandala, like a circle of aura around us that strengthens our body energetically and physically. Some of you could be taking to Reiki or yoga as well. Some of you, the energy also is coming through like looking at the sky. Some of you could be stargazers even. That's the impression I get. Like some of you could be stargazers, when we just lie down outside and just watch the sky. That's so healing. On the other hand, I'm also getting, steam-like vibes. So some of you might be enjoying some spa days as well. But I feel that there is a very mothering energy, whether you mother yourself or you're connected to a lot of mother figures. You know, you might be speaking to a lot of women that are mothers or mentors or grandmothers, even for themselves, for that matter. You might be in the company of those. Some of you, I feel that, you know, this is about choosing your own well-being, like, you know, mental health and all of that. Like, even in the last, I think it was Cancerian week, I'm not so sure, I was talking about Simone Biles, you know, the Olympian, the all-around Olympian, and how she dropped out of the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, you know, that was held in 2021. I clearly remember. And she chose her mental health, you know, twisters she had, and then she chose to take a break. And then she came back after she was healed, right? So she chose her health over the medals. But she came back in 2024 Paris Olympics because I was following her. So that's, you know, we need to mother ourselves. We need to take care of ourselves. Any physical, mental ailments, even spiritual, spiritual food, even spiritual nourishment, which comes through divine spiritual practices, connecting with the divine, altar practices and things like that. Some of you could be worshipping temples and things like that, that I feel that, you know, if you know about Hathor, I just mentioned her as the Divine Mother. When I was reading up about her a few months back, you know, the one thing that struck me was that her temples, you know, the Mother Goddess, Hathor temples, people when they went there, they used to hear the healing sound frequencies, you know, and that's what this energy is. So some of you could be actually taking to sound baths and, you know, there is a singing bowls also that provide these frequencies to heal. So some of you could be into Buddhist singing bowl practices as well. But wellness, taking care of yourself, holistic healing and retreats, some of you could be taking sabbaticals from your work or from studies as well, as what I'm getting with this. Just taking a break because you're exhausted, you're burnt out, right? So some of you could be in college and taking a break after that before you resume work, or some of you could be in between projects and you're taking that break between two projects. That could be it. But at the same time, I feel that slowing down is critical at this point in time, you know, taking care of yourself. And just some of you, I feel that as part of self-care and you know, just nurturing yourself is also about participating in creative acts. Like, you know, you might be painting, you might be cooking, you might be gardening, and that really releases a lot of stress. I read that in when I was doing neurosciences study, and I read how much that heals and supports our body and well-being, you know. And I also feel that some of you could be, I feel that some of you have really hardened up because of the you know, the external experiences that we have on a day-to-day life. But over here it says you are safe, you are loved, you can soften. So you're held, protected by the great divine mother, feminine source, the Shakti, the cosmic love. They all got you, Leos. Okay, so these being general messages will play out differently in your lives. Let me know in the comments how these play out, how these energies play out for you or in the environment around you. And hope you enjoyed your messages. So thank you guys for joining. Please subscribe and hit the like if you enjoyed the content, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye for now.